Hello everyone, welcome to AJJ Engineering. Today I would like to discuss a topic under mold technology, that is mold ejection system. Requirement for ejection. By law of nature, any material tries to occupy minimum space. So as the thermoplastic material solidifies, it also tries to occupy minimum space. All thermoplastic material contracts as they solidifies, which means that the part will shrink onto the core. This shrinkage makes it difficult to eject the part out of core. The amount of shrinkage depends on the material used. We should provide some means by which the part can be positively ejected from the core. Different mechanisms are provided on the mold so that the part can easily removed from core. Injection machines are provided with automatic actuation of ejector system, and this is located behind the moving platen. Due to this, it is necessary to remove the part if the core off is located on the moving platen. One basic rule in injection is as the mold opens, the part must stay on the side where the ejection is provided. Otherwise, features such as undercut has to be provided. Ejection features. The ejector system consists of the ejector grid, the ejector plate assembly, the ejector grid. The ejector grid is that part of the mold which supports the mold plate and provides a space into which ejector plate assembly can be fitted and operated. The grid normally consists of back plate onto which is mounted a number of conveniently shaped support blocks. There are three alternative designs. 1. The inline ejector grid. 2. The frame type ejector grid. 3. The circular support block grid. Inline ejector grid. This is the most common type of ejector grid system. This consists of two rectangular parallel blocks mounted on a back plate. The ejector plate assembly is accommodated in the parallel space between the two support rails. The design is good for small type of mold where the overall size of the ejector plate assemblies does not require the support rails to be fitted far away. If additional support is required, round blocks are fitted in between them. Frame type ejector grid. This is a rectangular frame type ejector grid. It is constructed of 4 support blocks mounted on a back plate. This type is used commonly for the following reason. 1. It is simple and cheap to manufacture. 2. It provides good support to the mold plate on a small mold. 3. A rectangular shape ejector plate can be used. 4. The ejector plate assembly is completely enclosed, therefore preventing foreign bodies entering the system. 5. When the outside shape of the mold plate is circular, it is easy to produce round than the rectangular type. Here also additional support is given by providing round blocks. Circular support block grid. In this design, circular support blocks are used to support the mold plate only. This system is used for large molds when no extra support would be gained by including rectangular blocks as well. Rectangular or circular grid with additional support block. When additional support is required for the core plate and round blocks are fixed by providing bore in the ejector plate assembly. Normally used diameter range is 25 to 125 mm. Ejector plate assembly. The ejector plate assembly is that part of the mold to which the ejector element is attached. The assembly is contained in a pocket formed by the ejector grid directly behind the mold plate. The assembly consists of an ejector plate, a retainer plate, and the ejector rod. One end of the ejector rod is attached to the ejector plate. The ejector rod is guided in certain cases in the ejector rod bush fitted in the back plate. Thus, the ejector rod functions not only as an actuating member but also as a method of guiding the assembly. Functioning. The moving off or ejection off of the mold is mounted on the moving platen of the injection machine. The actuating rod can be adjusted over various ejector strokes. When the mold opens, the mold ejector rod at some point of the stroke strikes the actuating rod, arresting the certain ejector assembly. The mold plate and the ejector grid continue to move to the left until its opening stroke is complete. This relative movement between the ejector plate assembly and the mold plate operates the ejector elements. In normal arrangement, for the smaller type of injection system, the machine actuator rod passes through the center of the moving pattern. On larger machines, several actuator rods are used so that a balanced force can be applied to the ejector plate. In this case of actuator rod pushed directly onto the ejector plate, a separate method of guiding and supporting the ejector plate assembly is necessary when ejector rod is not guiding and supporting the ejector assembly. Ejector guide pillars and bushes are normally used. Ejector plate. The purpose is to transfer the ejector force from the actuating system of the injection machine to the molding to an ejector element. The force required to eject a part is substantial, particularly when the molding are deep and include little draft. Ejector plate must be sufficiently thick not to deflect to any considerable extent. It may distort if it is too thin. Deflection tends to occur at the beginning of the ejection stroke when there is a maximum holding between the part and the core. If the ejector plate deflects, the side force are applied to the ejector elements which result in an increased wear in the mold plate holes, bent ejector pins, and in extreme cases in the complete arrest of the system. Retaining plates. The purpose of retainer plate is to retain the ejector element. Thickness of the plate depends on the thickness of the head of the ejector element it retains. Retaining plates are normally made of mild steel. Thickness of retainer plate is generally less than the ejector plate. Guiding and supporting ejector plate assembly. The type of guide system used will depend largely upon the size of the mold. For smaller molds, the ejector rod is guided in a ejector rod bush securely fitted into the back plate, which maintains alignment and provides support for the ejector plate. Ejector rod and ejector rod bush. The ejector rod is attached to the ejector plate by means of thread. The ejector rod bushes is made a press fit into the back plate. Both the ejector rod and the ejector rod bush are case-hardened to resist wear. Ejector plate assembly return system. In stripper plate mold, the stripper plate is directly connected to the ejector plate by length bolt. When the mold closes, the stripper plate strikes the fixed mold plate, thereby causing the stripper plate and the ejector plate to be returned to their rear positions. In this picture, X is the first opening between cavity plate plate and stripper plate. Y is the second opening between the core plate and stripper plate. Pushback pin return system. Pushback pins are larger diameter pins fitted to the ejector assembly. In the closed position, the pushback pin are flush with the mold surface. In the ejected position, the pushback project beyond the mold plate surface. Thus, when the mold closes, the pushback pin strikes the fitted mold plates and progressively return to the ejector plate assembly of the rear position. Spring return system. For small molds where the ejector assembly is of light construction, a spring can be used to retain the ejector plate assembly. The spring is fitted on the ejector rod with the cap to keep position. Springs are also sometimes provided on the return pin. Stop pins or rest buttons. With a large ejector plate or large ejector bar system, it is preferable to incorporate stop pins on the underside of the ejector plate. The head of the stop pin should be relatively larger to prevent it from creating a seam mark in the backplate. Stop pins reduces the effective contact area, thus preventing the possibility of ejector elements remaining slightly above due to the foreign matters being trapped behind the ejector plate.